SteamWorld Dig is a side-scrolling adventure game from developer Image & Form, who advertised the game as having a large Metroidvania influence. The game takes place in a small desert town with a large mine underneath of it. This mine is where you'll spend the majority of the game as you dig, jump, and fight your way through on the search for new discoveries. SteamWorld Dig does have a very appealing concept, and while it is a fun playthrough, it falls a bit short in delivering the experience you might be expecting from it. SteamWorld Dig puts you in control of Rusty the Steambot, who had just acquired the deed to his uncle's mine underneath the town of Tumbleton, which is a very small village in the middle of the desert. When Rusty arrives at Tumbleton, he finds that the inhabitants are struggling and that the mine has been left alone for a long time. And at this, Rusty sets off into the mine to find out the mystery of why his uncle had given it to him, as well as to find hidden riches to help Tumbleton to grow. Unfortunately, this is about as far as the story goes. Aside from a few snippets of conversation with the NPCs, you don't really get any information or motives to carry you forward. When the story does finally start to come to life towards the end of the game, it ends up feeling a bit abrupt and out of place after feeling absent for so long. The graphics are a highlight of SteamWorld Dig. The artwork is very vibrant and looks amazing, although it feels like it isn't fully taken advantage of. As most of the game is spent underground, you will spend most of your time looking at brown and gray rock. The audio, on the other hand, doesn't present anything special worth noting, and the soundtrack is mostly just background noise for the sake of background noise, which I personally phased out very quickly. It does play some Western themed music while inside Tumbleton, which was cool and felt appropriate. SteamWorld Dig's gameplay has its ups and downs. As I said earlier, you spend most of your time digging, fighting, and jumping through the mine. Starting with the digging, you obtain a pickaxe at the very beginning of the game, which can be used to break blocks in your path, much like you would do in the likes of Minecraft or Terraria. While digging, you will find all sorts of treasures, which can be exchanged in town, for obtaining level ups, expanding the town, and for money, which can be used to purchase items and upgrades from the shops. This is the main draw of the game and what will keep people intrigued. It's fun to go on mining runs, finding everything you can, and bringing it back for rewards. While finding new items is fun, digging can get quite repetitive. Until you're able to upgrade your items all the way, you'll be spending a lot of time hacking away at the rock, which can get pretty boring. Combat, on the other hand, is probably the lowest point of this game, and there's really not much to say about it. A battle pretty much involves you standing still, just waiting for an enemy to walk up to you so you can whack it. It's not very exciting, and it gets extremely repetitive, and it doesn't help that the enemies don't drop any items that are really worth going out of your way for. In later areas especially, I found myself avoiding enemies any chance I could, as fighting is boring and ultimately pointless. Then comes the platforming and overall movement through the game. Rusty feels pretty fast and slick as he runs and jumps around, and he has a wall jump ability which allows the climbing of any straight wall. As you progress, you will gain new abilities such as sprinting, which helps you to jump farther and higher, and a steam jump, which is a single super jump that can take you to hard-to-reach heights. My only complaint about the platforming is that some of the more precision jumping can feel a bit finicky. For example, if you're trying to do a wall jump from one wall to another, it can sometimes fail to work properly, which can lead you to possibly falling to your death, which is frustrating. Overall, I was pretty satisfied with the movement and feel of the game, and thought that it worked out really well. I did enjoy SteamWorld Dig. Finding new treasures and returning them for new levels and upgrades was always exciting, and some of the platforming was particularly fun. Things such as its repetitive nature and bland combat did hurt the experience though. It ends up being a game that I wanted and expected to like a lot more than I did. It's not a particularly great game, but it is a fun game to play through, and I definitely recommend trying it out.